welcome to another episode of Get to Know the Speakers of Digital Confex. Today we have with us Mr. Pradeep Kumar Mishra, who is the Senior Director for Software Engineering at Dell Technologies India. He will be speaking on the topic Cloud Native Technologies and Containerization, What to Know, during the Information Technology Confex happening in Delhi on 22nd September 2023. Hi Pradeep, welcome to the chat show.
Hello, Ankit. Thank you very much for having me, and I'm super excited to have this session.
Well, thank you so much. So Pradeep, would you like to give us a brief introduction of yourself and your field of expertise for the audience?
Sure, love to. I consider myself a very passionate advocate of digital transformations, and when I'm running last 2 decades or more, primary job is to empower teams and organizations to scale their impact through technology. I'm very passionate about this. In my current role, more than 15 plus years of experience in building a very vibrant ecosystem of customer-centric technology at Dell Technologies. I consider myself for turning chaos to creativity, and why we are talking this topic of cloud computing or cloud native technologies and containerization is one of the things which is very much relevant. I would love to combine my high-tech vision with high-touch approach. On top of it, I've committed to Dell's 2030 Moonshot Goal for improving state of education of girl child in rural schools across India. Thank you very much for asking me this.
Well, thank you, Pradeep. It was really nice to hear all those things that you just told us, and especially the part wherein you said that you are an expert in converting the chaos into creativity. So that is something be something to be proud of, basically, in everyone's life.
Yeah, that's where let's roll in and understand more how we can do for greater community over here.
Definitely. So how excited are you for this particular event?
Very much. As a techie, I'm looking forward to conferences like this. One of the big thing what we get is mostly you get share. Most importantly, we learn, right? We will interact with so many dignitaries, speakers, and most importantly, there are so many attendees will be coming and really sharing some of their experiences. I'm very excited and looking forward for this event. This is going to be my first team for DIGITALCONFEX, but very much looking forward to it.
We are also looking forward to meeting you there at the conference. So Pradeep, moving forward, I have a certain questions for you today, related to the topic that you've chosen for the conference. And the first question is, what exactly is cloud native technology?
Yeah. Let's park the technology part. And this cloud native is all about speed and agility. We will discuss more about it. But if you will see, the current business systems are evolving from enabling business capabilities to strategic transformation that accelerate business velocity and growth. Everybody is interested how I can move fast and grow fast, right? At the same time, business systems have also become increasingly complex, with users demanding more. Customers like us, when we are using so many systems, you will see our demands has grew very much. The business expect rapid responsiveness, innovative features, and absolutely zero downtime. The downtime in us when we go and deploy our applications, we really need to do it seamlessly. And then it leads to performance problems, recurring errors, the inability to move fast for, is no longer acceptable in the current scenario. Our users will visit will leave us and go to the competitor. So it's a business prerogatives what we are trying to do, and the cloud native technologies are bringing the speed and agility which we are becoming competitive in the market. But there are four different pillars, 4 or 5 pillars I would really like to call out when we are talking about cloud native technology. Let's bring the technology part into the discussions. The number one is the cloud native infrastructure, the platform as a service, how it grows, the compute infrastructure and managed services as part of that, in this infrastructure part, what we treat the underlying infrastructure as disposable. We do not want to own the infrastructure anymore. I can provision in minutes, resized, scaled, and if I don't need it, just destroy on demand. And most importantly, in this cloud native world, we need this to be done via automation. That's most important aspect for the infrastructure. The second part is actually the design. When we're coming to application development, how we are designing this. A widely accepted methodology for constructing cloud-based applications is very well-known 12-factor applications. And on top of it, in the recent type, we have added 2 or 3 more like API first, your telemetry, or authentication and authorization piece on top of these 12-factor applications. But if you will see in the design, the spatial attention given to portability across environments, because that's where we don't want to be dependent on a single environment. And the second one is the declarative automations. The third pillar, apart from infrastructure, where the cloud native infrastructure and the design, the modern design, the third piece is the architecture, where we are moving to monoliths, to microservices, to add into our agility capabilities over there, right? The fourth is the automations, how, as I told you, everything needs to be done in an automated way, because as soon as we move into this cloud native world, certainly we will find us in a very chaotic situations, as I told you, and how we would bring a lot of order and discipline by introducing automation. Last but not least is the containers, which we are talking as most important ingredient into this whole cloud native aspect. The containers are great enabler for our cloud native softwares. In nowadays, it's very natural to hear containers in various different discussions there. But in short, the code, its dependencies, runtime, packaged, and how we can do it in an independent way. So my definition of this cloud native technology is actually structured in this way, Ankit. Hope you are following me.
Yes, definitely. We are completely following you. And the way that you just talked about, I guess you just answered my next question as well that I had lined up. That why is exactly the cloud native, technology gaining such significance? So
Very much. Velocity and agility. That's where it is, where as a business, we need to provide them to our customers. Very right. Yes, I covered it.
exactly. So moving forward, you also, talked about the containers, a little bit about the containers when you were talking about the cloud native technology. So, the last question that I would like to ask you for today is, containerization is an important part of cloud native that I've understood. But what are the few key benefits in large scale enterprise ecosystem?
Yeah, man, that's very important for us to understand. And let's stay back. In my last 2 decades, I started as a developer in my career. Let's go back and, delve into the nitty-gritty details of containers. How applications and infrastructure have evolved over the past decade or plus. I'm talking about a couple of decades, right? And by the time 2000, 2001, I was writing code. I was deploying monolith applications on dedicated servers, right? The physical boxes, each with its own operating systems, maybe, several I don't want to name those operating systems, but each of these physical boxes comes with its own operating systems. This was very inefficient, but today we can sit and talk about this was very inefficient from an hardware utilization standpoint. And look, the maintenance cost, the maintainability cost you are spending at that point of time. But somewhere a decade before, in 2008, 2009, the virtualizations game came into the market, which abstracted the hardware from the operating systems, because the operating systems, they wanted to allowing us to run many operating systems on a single server. That was the first breakthrough happened. This was much more efficient and enabled hardware consolidations. But it introduced the conflict between the applications, because the same server, the applications running on the same operating systems. Then the thought process that journey brought us to containers, right? At the highest level, the containers are decouple or abstract the operating system and underlying hardware infrastructure from the applications, making them faster to deploy across environments. That's one of the very powerful developer utility, and why our DevOps are currently more powerful because of these containers. There are many benefits as you are asking, but let me call out few. One is called bundled dependencies. When the containers, we actually bundle all the dependency as one, right? So we are actually gaining out of it. The stateless, the containers are designed to perform specific task and then go away. That's the stateless. Then isolation, each application's components lives on its own containers. Then come to the maintainability, the patching, container simplifying the patching, all those stops over there. Last one may be the portability. We don't want to really tie with a single cloud vendors. I can go deploy in any cloud vendor at that same point of time. So it's a very powerful, architecture, the way we are coming up with the containers, Ankit.
That is, pretty much like a topic on which we can, talk about the entire day, I guess.
Yeah, there are many other interesting aspects we can touch upon the plethora of technologies how we are bringing into this, and there are many vendors. But I think as a developer and serving to my customer or business, I feel now more empowered. I have many choices and I can do. There are stories also. There is an other side of stories when organizations coming back from microservices to monoliths because of the cost and other aspects. But there's a different topic to discuss, Ankit. That's other time.
Some other time, Pradeep. So thank you so much, Pradeep, for your appearance for the show today. And I hope that the audience will, relish the points that you just shared with us, and they are going to, benefit from it in the future. And I do, genuinely look forward to meeting you and, hearing more on this particular topic with your fellow panelists on the day of the event. So have a good day, Pradeep.
Thank you very much, Ankit. You have a great day. Thank you very much for having me.
And lastly, I would like to, address all the audience that if you are looking forward to meet Pradeep in person and have an insightful discussion, we are waiting for you to join our upcoming conference on information technology on 22nd September 2023, happening in person in New Delhi. Thank you once again, Pradeep, for your time and your efforts. And we look forward to meeting you there at the event.
Thank you.